Hello, welcome to Centered 7 Coach live streaming today. It's kind of vulnerable to get on here and do something live like this, so thank you for watching. I wanted to talk about what a coach is, because for a long time I thought, what is a coach and why are people live coaching? And it seems kind of silly to me. So until I actually used a life coach and gained a lot of benefit from it, I didn't really know what it was and why people were doing it. But as you know, I'm in the process of getting my certification through the Mind Firm coaching school. And so I'm not quite certified yet, but I'm looking forward to the day when I will be done with my lessons and my learning and all the training that I'm getting. That's wonderful. But I wanted to talk about what a coach is and what the difference is between a coach and a therapist. So we're not therapists, we're not licensed to do that at all. A therapist is somebody who helps people through their past trauma if they are at a place where they can't really function normally, and they are not able to work or do their normal activities because of depression or anxiety or something like that. A therapist can help them go through their past trauma if they've had something happen that was traumatic that is causing them anxiety or depression. A therapist can help them walk through those past circumstances, those things that have happened to them that have caused them to feel worthless or shameful, or these really strong emotions that can be paralyzing, fearful. And so they can do that with medication, they can do that with talk therapy, hypnotherapy. There's lots of different ways to treat depression that is debilitating and anxiety. And I speak from experience because I suffered from depression for a long time. I was diagnosed in 1998 and I took medication from a regular medical doctor. She said, Corinne, if you had the flu or if you had an infection or something, you would take medication, right, to get rid of it, and there's no shame surrounding that. But for some reason at that time there was a lot of shame attached to mental illness, and I didn't want that. And so I was just like, I didn't want to go to the doctor about that. I didn't want to be diagnosed with that. It was just so shameful and so embarrassing. And so I kind of hesitated to do that because I didn't want the diagnosis of it. And so when I finally took medication, I was just like, yeah, you're right. I mean, if I had an infection, I would get antibiotics, I would get over the infection, and all would be well. And so I took her advice. I did get on medication, and it helped a lot, and I felt a lot better. But there were side effects associated with it, some strange dreams, like different medications have different side effects. Sometimes it can take a while to find the right medication. Sometimes the dosage has to be adjusted, or you have to find one that has side effects that aren't as awful as some other ones. So it takes a lot of trial and error. And then there's talk therapy. I went through talk therapy. There's different kinds of that, of talk therapy. And I had many different counselors. It's difficult sometimes to find the right counselor. Sometimes you just don't jive with them. They maybe have different values than you do, and you kind of have to search and try to find the right one who can really, really help you and relate to you, and somebody you can trust. Sometimes I felt like I was doing all the talking and they weren't telling me anything that was helpful, and I was like, I could just talk to a friend and save the $100 an hour or whatever I was spending. Sometimes they did all the talking and I didn't really have a chance to even say what I was feeling or going through or any of that, or what past traumas had happened to me. And so there's a good balance between the listening and the talking. And sometimes they were just too young, and I just thought, what can you possibly know? You're only 20 years old, and so that I think I had an age bias against young therapists, and just their life experience is so limited. How can they possibly understand me, because I'm so much older than they are? And so but sometimes young therapists really have a lot of wisdom, and so I kind of need to get over that ageism, which I think I have, but anyway, that's another story. And so, yeah, finding the right therapist can take time and can be, costly at times, because you'll go for months and months and months and not have any progress. There's hypnotherapy. I've tried hypnotherapy. There's ketamine, I've tried that. There's TMS, it's like a magnetic pulse that they put on your brain to try to change the brain waves so that they don't always go to that depressed place in your brain that kind of you get these ruts in your brain where the thoughts just go there all the time. And so that can help kind of, change that pattern. And there are other ways that you can treat depression as well through a therapist. So we are not therapists. We are not licensed to do that, and that's not our thing. So what we do as coaches is we take people who are at a baseline level. They're able to function, pretty well, but we help them to meet their dreams and their goals. Maybe there's a thinking pattern that is not serving us well. Maybe we are disorganized and we need an organization coach to help us get organized. Maybe we have beliefs about ourselves that we've taken with us from childhood. I just can't do math, or I am just not good with money, or I'm super not organized, or I am just a horrible cook, or I just have never been good with numbers or math, or I've never been good with writing or speaking, or there's different things that we have that we sort of tell ourselves, these stories that are not true. Maybe somebody told us that when we were little, but they don't know us and they don't know what our skills are. And just because we couldn't do it in the past doesn't mean we can't do it in the future. So a coach helps us recognize those thought patterns and those paradigms that we are creating for ourselves and the legacy that we're creating by thinking those thoughts over and over and over. To where it creates these results that we don't want. And so I am passionate about helping people with mental and emotional struggles. And so, and also Enneagram 7s, because I am a 7 and I understand what it's like to be a 7 and some of the traps that maybe 7s can fall into kind of easily. FOMO is one of them. We just always want to be entertained and be having fun, and so life isn't always entertaining. And so as 7s, we have to just sit with boredom sometimes, or sit with, we might be missing out on certain things, and so that's okay. But I wanted to talk about what coaches can do with our thought processes and how that can help, because when I was young, I was really, really messy, and I was super disorganized. I lived in a house that was really messy, and so I kind of just became messy. And so because of that, the years and years of living in mess, I decided that was difficult for me to get over that mindset of being messy. And I realized that, no, I'm not messy. Just because I grew up in a messy house doesn't mean I have to be messy. And so I was able to overcome that, and now I have a neat home, and I have organized. I make my bed every day. And I am no longer a messy person, and so I was able to overcome that. Another thing that I overcame through my thoughts was biting my nails. I bit my nails for a really long time. I felt anxiety, and I was chewing on my fingernails. And so when I got married, I wanted to have that picture of my hands with my nails done, and I didn't want to have chewed up fingernails. So I just would paint my nails every day, or once a week or whenever, and try to make them pretty so I was aware of them, and I would look at them and I'd be like, oh yeah, I have that goal, I'm going to do that. And so I quit biting my nails. And so and another time I totally gave up sugar, and it was just a mental thing. Whenever I would get the craving for sugar, I would say, no, I don't need sugar. I can eat an apple, or I can eat something that's a peach, or something that's kind of sweet, but I don't need sugar. So so that was another thing that I overcame. Our thoughts are powerful. And if we can think things like, I am an amazing person, I am worthy of love, I forgive easily, I have self-control, I have willpower, I am good at exercising, I enjoy exercising, I am good with numbers, and we can change our past paradigm, and by thinking these positive thoughts about ourselves, we can change our legacy as well. And so, yeah, I hope that helps any of you who are wondering what a coach does and how this works. And I look forward to getting certified and being a coach for some of you. Thank you so much.